This week, Aquarius, one single boundary is about to rescue your energy from the slow drain that has been pulling you down. And once you see what it is, you will wonder why you waited so long to draw the line. The stars are aligning in a way that puts your personal power front and center. But here is the truth most people miss. That power means nothing if you keep giving it away to situations, conversations, and people that leave you feeling hollow. This is not about being cold. This is not about shutting people out. This is about finally understanding that your energy is the most valuable thing you carry. And this week the universe is handing you the clarity to protect it. What you are about to hear covers 10 essential insights that will guide you through the days ahead, each one building on the last, each one pulling you closer to the version of yourself that moves through life with calm strength instead of quiet exhaustion. So stay with me all the way through. The guidance that lands deepest for you might be waiting in the very last section. And I would hate for you to miss the one message that changes everything. Tip 1. The boundary the universe is asking you to set this week is not against other people. It is against your own habit of overextending. You have spent so much time being the one who shows up, the one who says yes, the one who carries things that were never yours to carry, that you have forgotten what it feels like to simply breathe. And this week, the cosmic energy is practically begging you to stop. Not stop caring. Not stop loving. Not stop being the generous, thoughtful soul that you are. But stop pouring from a cup that has been running on empty for longer than you want to admit. There is a pattern in your life, Aquarius, and it has been quietly stealing your vitality for months, maybe even years. It is the pattern of giving your attention to things that do not give anything back. It might be a relationship where you are always the one reaching out. It might be a project that drains more than it rewards. It might be a mental habit, like worrying about things you cannot control, that eats up hours of your day without producing a single useful outcome. Whatever it is, the stars are shining a light on it right now, and they are asking you a very direct question: how much longer are you willing to pay this cost? The beautiful thing about this week is that the answer does not need to be dramatic. You do not need to make grand announcements or burn bridges, or have uncomfortable confrontations. Sometimes the most powerful boundary is a quiet one. It is the decision you make inside yourself the moment you look at something and say, no, not today, not anymore. That is where your power lies this week. In the quiet refusal to keep participating in your own depletion. And when you start doing that, when you start choosing yourself in these small but significant ways, something remarkable happens. Your energy comes back. Not slowly, not gradually, but with a rush that surprises you. Because your energy was never really gone. It was just being redirected to places that did not deserve it. Think of yourself like a river. For a long time, smaller streams have been branching off in every direction, feeding ponds and puddles that have nothing to do with where you are trying to go. This week, the universe helps you redirect that flow. It helps you pull your energy back into the main current, back into the direction that actually matters to you. And when you do that, you will feel the difference immediately. You will feel more focused, more present, more alive. The people around you will notice it too. There is something magnetic about a person who has decided to stop wasting themselves on things that do not matter. Others can feel it. They are drawn to it. And that magnetism, that centered, grounded energy, is exactly what the universe wants you to carry into the week ahead. Here is what I want you to understand at the deepest level. This boundary is not something you set once and forget about. It is a daily practice. Every morning when you wake up, you get to choose where your energy goes. You get to decide what deserves your attention and what does not. And every single time you make that choice consciously instead of automatically, you are building a new pattern. A healthier pattern. One where your energy serves your life instead of being scattered to the winds. So pay attention. The boundary is not out there somewhere waiting to be discovered. It is already inside you, waiting to be honored. Tip 2. The second insight this week is about the conversations you keep having that go absolutely nowhere. And it is time to recognize them for what they are. You know the ones. The circular discussions that start in the same place and end in the same place. The explanations you keep giving to people who are not really listening. The debates you keep entering even though nothing ever changes afterward. These conversations are not just unproductive, they are actively draining you. Every time you engage in one, you are spending emotional currency on something that gives you zero return. And this week, the stars are making it impossible to ignore this pattern any longer. Here is what most people do not understand about communication. Not every conversation deserves your full participation. Some conversations are invitations to waste your time, dressed up as important discussions. They feel urgent in the moment. They feel like they matter. But when you step back and look at the pattern, you realize you have had this exact same exchange dozens of times before, and nothing has changed. That is your signal. That is the universe telling you that your words are being poured into a container with no bottom. No matter how much you pour, it will never fill up. And the cost of that pouring is not just your time, it is your peace. This week, practice the art of the short response. When someone pulls you into one of those familiar loops, resist the urge to explain yourself fully. Resist the urge to convince, to persuade, to make your case one more time. Instead, offer a simple acknowledgement and move on. Something like, "I hear you," or "I understand we see this differently," and then let it rest. You do not owe anyone a debate. You do not owe anyone a lengthy defense of your choices, your feelings, or your perspective. Your energy is better spent on the people and conversations that actually move forward, that actually build something, that actually leave you feeling heard and understood rather than depleted and frustrated. There is something powerful that happens when you stop feeding conversations that go nowhere. The noise in your life gets quieter. The mental chatter dies down. You start to hear your own thoughts more clearly because they are not competing with the echoes of arguments that never needed to happen in the first place. And in that quiet space, real insight arrives. Real clarity shows up. The kind of clarity that actually moves your life forward instead of keeping you stuck in the same exhausting loops. And here is something else worth considering. When you stop participating in circular conversations, you also discover who in your life is truly interested in growing alongside you, and who is just looking for someone to perform the same dance with over and over again. That distinction is valuable beyond measure, because the relationships that are willing to evolve, the ones where both people are genuinely listening and adapting, those are the ones worth investing your words in. Those are the ones that fill you up instead of wearing you down. So this week, before you open your mouth, ask yourself one simple question. Is this conversation going somewhere new? Or am I about to repeat a scene I have already lived? If the answer is the second one, save your breath. Save your energy. You are going to need it for what comes next. If what you're hearing feels accurate, imagine what could happen if you applied this energy intentionally for 21 consecutive days. That's exactly what the 21-day program in the pinned comment is built for. Daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you're tired of staying in the same cycle, this is your structure. Tip 3. This week brings a powerful shift in how you relate to your own emotions. And if you lean into it, everything starts to feel lighter. For a long time, Aquarius, you have had a complicated relationship with your feelings. You are someone who thinks deeply, processes carefully, and often intellectualizes emotions instead of simply feeling them. And while that mental agility is one of your greatest strengths, it can also become a cage. When you think about your feelings instead of experiencing them, you end up carrying them longer than you need to. They get stuck in your mind, replaying on a loop because they were never allowed to move through your body the way they were designed to. This week, the planetary alignment is opening a door for emotional release. Not the explosive, dramatic kind, the gentle kind. The kind where you are sitting quietly and suddenly feel a wave of sadness or relief or tenderness wash over you. And instead of analyzing it, you just let it be there. You let it move through you like weather moving across a landscape. It arrives, it passes, and when it is gone, something inside you feels cleaner, lighter, more open. That is what the universe is offering you right now. A chance to let your emotions flow instead of holding them in your mind like files in a cabinet. The key this week is to stop asking yourself why you feel what you feel, and start simply allowing the feeling to exist. Not every emotion needs a reason. Not every wave of sadness is attached to a specific event. Sometimes your body is just releasing old energy, clearing out residue from weeks or months ago, and the best thing you can do is get out of the way and let it happen. If you feel like crying, cry. If you feel like laughing at something that is not even funny, laugh. If you feel a sudden urge to sit in silence and stare out a window, do that. Your body knows what it needs this week, and your job is to trust it. There is a reason this matters so much right now. When you hold emotions inside instead of letting them pass through, they start to calcify. They become rigid structures inside you, resentments, anxieties, fears, that take up space and block the flow of new energy. And when new energy cannot flow in, you feel stuck. You feel heavy. You feel like you are carrying a weight you cannot name. This week is your chance to set some of that weight down. Not by figuring it out, but by feeling it out. By letting your body do what it has always known how to do if your mind would just step aside long enough to let it work. And here is the beautiful part. When you start releasing these stuck emotions, your energy does not just return to normal. It elevates. You do not just go back to baseline. You reach a level of lightness and clarity that you may not have felt in a very long time. That is because emotional release is not just about getting rid of the bad stuff. It is about making room for the good stuff. Joy, inspiration, creativity, connection. All of these need space to land, and this week you are creating that space simply by letting go. The next insight builds directly on this, and it might be the one that surprises you the most. Tip 4: the fourth message coming through this week is about rest, and specifically about the kind of rest that actually restores you versus the kind that just fills time. There is a difference, Aquarius, and it is a difference that most people never learn. You probably know the feeling of spending an entire afternoon doing what looks like resting, sitting on the couch, scrolling through your phone, watching something you are not really paying attention to, and then getting up feeling just as tired as when you sat down. That is not rest. That is distraction. And distraction, while it might give your body a break, does absolutely nothing for your mind or your spirit. It is the equivalent of putting a bandage on a wound without cleaning it first. It covers the problem, but it does not heal anything. This week, the stars are encouraging you to explore what genuine rest looks like for you personally. Not what society says rest should look like. Not what advertisements suggest. What actually fills your cup back up. For some people, real rest is silence. Just sitting somewhere quiet with nothing to look at and nothing to do. For others, it is gentle movement. A slow walk somewhere green, some easy stretching, time spent in water. For others still, it is creative expression, drawing, writing, humming, working with their hands. The common thread is presence. Real rest requires you to actually be where you are, not mentally somewhere else. And that is what separates it from distraction. Think about the last time you felt genuinely restored after a period of rest. Not just less tired, but actually restored, like something inside you had been recharged at a deep level. Chances are you were doing something simple. Something that did not require performance or productivity or even thought. You were just being. That is the energy the universe wants you to reconnect with this week. That state of being without agenda, without purpose, without the constant pressure to produce something. Your worth is not tied to your output. Aquarius, even though the world has spent a long time trying to convince you otherwise. Here is something that might shift your perspective on rest. It is not a reward for hard work. It is a requirement for good living. You do not earn rest by exhausting yourself first. You deserve rest simply because you are alive and your body and mind need it to function. When you treat rest as something you have to justify, you will never get enough of it. There will always be one more thing to do, one more responsibility to handle, one more person who needs something from you. But when you treat rest as a fundamental need, as essential as food and water, you stop waiting for the perfect moment and start creating moments of restoration throughout your day. A few minutes of genuine stillness in the morning. A pause between tasks where you close your eyes and breathe. A walk in the evening where you leave your phone behind and just notice the world around you. This week, make rest a practice, not an afterthought. Schedule it if you need to. Protect it the way you would protect an important appointment. Because here is the truth. When you are well rested, everything else in your life works better. Your relationships improve because you have more patience. Your decisions improve because you have more clarity. Your creativity flows because your mind has space to wander. Rest is not the opposite of productivity. It is the foundation of it. And the universe is reminding you of that this week in the most loving way possible. But there is another layer to this energy that we need to explore. Tip 5. The fifth insight arriving this week touches something that most people avoid talking about, and that is the guilt you feel when you choose yourself. Aquarius, you are someone who cares deeply about the people in your life. You pay attention to their needs, you remember the small things, and you often put their comfort ahead of your own without even thinking about it. And while that generosity is beautiful, it has created an invisible trap. You have trained yourself and you have trained the people around you to expect that you will always say yes, that you will always show up, that you will always sacrifice your own needs to meet theirs. And now, when you even think about saying no, guilt rushes in like a flood. That guilt is not a sign that you are doing something wrong. It is a sign that you are doing something new. It is the discomfort of breaking a pattern that has been running for years, maybe decades. Your nervous system has been wired to equate self-sacrifice with safety. If I give enough, if I do enough, if I am enough for everyone else, then I will be loved. Then I will be valued. Then I will belong. That is the subconscious agreement you made a long time ago. And this week the universe is gently asking you to renegotiate it. Here is the truth that guilt does not want you to see. You can be a loving, generous, caring person and still have boundaries. In fact, boundaries are what make genuine generosity possible. When you give from a place of fullness, your giving has power. It has warmth. It has sustainability. But when you give from a place of depletion, your giving becomes a performance. It looks like love on the outside, but on the inside it feels like resentment. And over time, that resentment poisons the very relationships you were trying to protect by saying yes in the first place. This week, when guilt shows up, and it will, try something different. Instead of obeying it, observe it. Notice where you feel it in your body. Notice the thoughts it brings with it. Notice how it tries to convince you that choosing yourself is the same as abandoning others. And then very gently, remind yourself that this is not true. Choosing yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. It is the difference between a candle that burns steadily for years and one that flares up brightly but burns out in minutes. The people who truly love you do not want you to burn out. They want you to last. There is a particular relationship in your life right now where this dynamic is especially strong. You know which one I am talking about. The one where you feel like you cannot say no without consequences. The one where your needs always seem to come second. This week, the universe is not asking you to end that relationship or confront that person. It is asking you to start telling yourself a different story about what you deserve within it. Because change does not always start with a conversation. Sometimes it starts with a decision you make inside yourself, a quiet shift in what you are willing to accept. And from that shift, everything else begins to reorganize. The next insight shows you exactly how that reorganization begins to unfold. Tip 6. The sixth message this week is about the stories you tell yourself when no one else is listening, and how those stories are shaping your reality more than any external circumstance ever could. Every single day, you have a running narrative inside your head. It comments on everything: what happened, what might happen, what someone meant when they said that thing, what you should have done differently, what you are not good enough for. And most of the time, you do not even notice it. It is like background music that has been playing for so long you have forgotten it is there. But this week, the stars are turning the volume up on that inner narrative, making it loud enough for you to actually hear it. And when you hear it, you might be shocked by what it is saying. For many Aquarius natives, the inner narrative is far harsher than anything anyone else has ever said to them. It is critical, demanding, and relentless. It holds you to impossible standards and then punishes you when you fall short, compares you to others, and always finds you lacking. It remembers every mistake you have ever made and replays them at the worst possible moments. And the cruelest part is that you have been listening to this voice for so long that you have started to believe it is telling the truth. You have confused familiarity with accuracy. Just because a thought has been with you for years does not mean it is right. This week, you have the opportunity to start separating yourself from that narrative. Not silencing it, that rarely works and often backfires, but noticing it, observing it with a little bit of distance. When a harsh thought appears, instead of automatically agreeing with it, try saying to yourself, there is that story again. Not my story. The story. The one that was written a long time ago by fear or by pain or by someone who did not know any better. That simple act of observation, of stepping back from the thought instead of merging with it, is one of the most powerful things you can do for your mental health and your energy levels. Because here is what most people do not realize: those inner stories are incredibly expensive. Every negative narrative you run in your mind costs you energy. Real, measurable, physical energy. Your body responds to your thoughts as if they are real events. When you tell yourself a story about being not enough, your body produces stress hormones. Your muscles tense. Your breathing gets shallow. Your digestive system slows down. All of that costs energy. And when you are running these stories all day long, day after day, the cumulative cost is enormous. It is one of the biggest hidden drains on your vitality, and most people never identify it because they are too busy looking for external causes of their exhaustion. This week, start keeping a gentle inventory of your inner stories. You do not need to write them down or analyze them. Just notice the themes. Are they stories of lack? Not enough time, not enough money, not enough love? Are they stories of fear? Something bad is going to happen, I cannot handle this, everything is falling apart? Are they stories of unworthiness, I do not deserve good things, other people have it figured out but I never will? Whatever the themes are, just notice them. Awareness is the first step toward change. And this week the universe is giving you the awareness. What you do with it from here is where the real transformation begins. And the next insight gives you a powerful tool to start that process. Tip 7. The seventh insight this week is about the physical environment you are living in, and how it is either supporting your energy or silently sabotaging it. This might seem like a simple topic on the surface, but it goes much deeper than you think. Your environment is not just the backdrop of your life. It is an active participant in it. Every object you see, every surface you touch, every sound you hear, every smell you notice is sending signals to your nervous system. And your nervous system is responding to those signals whether you are aware of it or not. When your space is cluttered, disorganized, or filled with things that carry emotional weight, your body stays in a low-level state of alertness. It is like having a dozen browser tabs open on a computer. Even if you are not actively using them, they are running in the background, consuming resources, slowing everything else down. That pile of papers you keep meaning to sort through. That closet you cannot open without something falling out. That drawer filled with things from a chapter of your life that has long since ended. Each of these is an open tab. Each one is quietly consuming a portion of your attention and energy. This week, the stars are encouraging you to close some of those tabs. Not all of them. Not in a frantic, overwhelming purge. Just a few. Start with the space where you spend the most time. Your bedroom, your kitchen, your desk, wherever you sit or stand or exist most often during the day. Look around that space with fresh eyes and ask yourself, does this support the energy I want to feel? If the answer is no, make one small change. Just one. Move something. Remove something. Clean something. Create a pocket of order in the middle of the chaos. And then notice how it feels. The reason this matters so much this week is that your environment is a mirror of your inner state, but it also works the other way around. When you change your environment, your inner state begins to shift. It is one of the fastest, most accessible ways to change how you feel without needing willpower or discipline or emotional breakthroughs. You just move things around. You create space. You let light in. And your nervous system responds. It relaxes. Says, oh, this is better. I can breathe here. I can think here. I feel safer here. Pay special attention this week to the things in your environment that you have been keeping out of obligation rather than genuine desire. The gift from someone you no longer speak to. The piece of furniture that does not match anything but you feel guilty getting rid of. The decoration that someone else chose for you that has never felt like yours. These objects are not neutral. They carry energy. They carry memories and associations and emotional charge. And every time your eyes pass over them, even unconsciously, your system registers that charge. It is like tiny pinpricks throughout the day, each one too small to notice individually, but collectively creating a persistent undercurrent of discomfort. You have permission this week to let things go. Not because they are bad, but because they are not yours anymore. They belong to a version of you that no longer exists, a chapter that has already been written. Holding on to them does not preserve the past. It just prevents the present from fully arriving. And the present is where your power lives. The present is where your energy is most available to you. So clear the way for it. Make room. And watch how quickly your energy responds to the space you create. What comes next will show you how to protect that space once you have created it. Tip 8. The 8th insight this week speaks directly to one of the most underestimated energy drains in modern life. The habit of being constantly available. Aquarius, you live in a world that celebrates connection and accessibility. There is an unspoken expectation that you should always be reachable, always responsive, always ready to engage. Your phone buzzes and you feel an immediate pull to check it. Someone sends you a message and you feel pressure to reply right away. An invitation comes in and you feel obligated to respond before you have even checked in with yourself about whether you want to go. This constant availability is not connection. It is captivity. And this week, the universe is handing you the key to the cage. Being constantly available is exhausting not because of the time it takes, but because of what it does to your attention. Every notification, every ping, Every interruption fractures your focus. It pulls you out of whatever you were thinking, feeling, or doing and demands that you redirect your attention to something external. And then, once you have dealt with that external thing, you have to find your way back to where you were. Except you never quite get back. Each interruption leaves a residue, a tiny fragment of your attention that stays with the thing you just responded to. And over the course of a day, those fragments add up until your attention is scattered across dozens of different places, and you cannot concentrate on anything because you are mentally everywhere and therefore truly nowhere. This week, experiment with intentional unavailability. Not permanent, not dramatic, not rude. Just gaps. Windows of time where you are not reachable, where your phone is in another room, where notifications are silenced, where the only person who has access to your attention is you. Start small if you need to. 30 minutes in the morning before you check anything. An hour in the evening where you simply exist without being on call. You will be surprised by how strange it feels at first, how anxious you might become without the constant flow of incoming information. That anxiety is not a sign that you need to be available. It is a sign of how deeply the habit has taken root. The truth is, very few things in life are genuinely urgent. The vast majority of messages, notifications, and interruptions can wait an hour or two, or even a day without any real consequence. But your nervous system has been trained to treat everything as urgent, to respond to every buzz and beep as if it is an emergency. This week, start retraining it. Start teaching your body that it is safe to be unreachable, that the world will not fall apart if you do not respond immediately, that the people who love you will still be there when you surface, and that the gift of uninterrupted time with yourself is one of the most valuable things you can give your mind and your spirit. There is a deeper layer to this as well. Constant availability often masks a fear of being forgotten. If I am always available, people will always need me. If people always need me, I will always matter. But your worth is not determined by how quickly you respond to messages, or how many people have access to you at any given moment. Your worth is inherent. It exists whether your phone is on or off, whether people can reach you or not. This week, let yourself be unreachable for small stretches of time, and notice that your value does not diminish. It actually increases because you start showing up more fully in the moments when you do choose to engage. And that quality of presence is worth far more than the quantity of your availability. Some people watch, others transform. If you want to be in the second group, the 21-day guide in the pinned comment gives you a clear step-by-step process aligned with your sign. This isn't about waiting, it's about moving. Tip 9. The 9th insight this week is about something subtle but incredibly important: the energy you absorb from other people without realizing it. Aquarius, you are naturally attuned to the people around you. You pick up on moods, tensions, and unspoken feelings with an accuracy that most people do not possess. And while this sensitivity is a gift in many ways, it makes you empathetic, perceptive, and deeply understanding. It also means you are absorbing emotional energy that does not belong to you. You walk into a room where someone is anxious and you leave feeling anxious. You spend time with someone who is angry, and you drive home with your jaw clenched. You talk to someone who is sad and suddenly your whole day feels heavier, even though nothing in your own life has changed. This is not weakness. This is wiring. Your system is built to connect deeply with others, and one of the side effects of that deep connection is that other people's emotions can seep into your experience without your permission. This week, the stars are giving you heightened awareness of this dynamic, and they are also giving you the tools to manage it. Because absorbing other people's emotions is not inevitable. It is a habit, and like all habits, it can be redirected once you become conscious of it. The first step is learning to ask yourself a simple question when you notice a shift in your mood. Is this mine? When you suddenly feel anxious, irritable, sad, or drained, pause for a moment and check in. Was I feeling this way before I entered this situation? Or did it start after I was around a certain person? This question is not about blame. It is about clarity. It is about learning to distinguish between your own emotional experience and the emotional residue you have picked up from someone else. Once you can make that distinction, you can choose what to do with the energy. You can acknowledge it without absorbing it. You can witness someone else's pain without making it your own. The second step is developing what you might think of as an energetic filter. Imagine that you have a screen around you, something permeable, something that allows connection and warmth to flow through but catches the heavier, more disruptive energies before they reach your core. This is not about building a wall. Walls block everything, the good and the bad. A filter is selective. It lets love through. It lets joy through. It lets genuine connection through. But it catches the anxiety, the anger, the despair, the neediness that would otherwise lodge itself in your body and weigh you down for hours or days after an encounter. This week, practice activating that filter before you enter social situations. Before you walk into a gathering, before you pick up the phone, before you sit down with someone who tends to dump their emotional weight on you, take a breath and set a quiet intention. I will be present. I will be compassionate, but I will not carry what is not mine. That intention alone, spoken silently to yourself, can make a significant difference in how much energy you retain after interactions with others. There is one more piece to this that is worth mentioning. Some of the people in your life are what you might call energy borrowers. They come to you when they are depleted, they take what they need from your presence, and they leave feeling better while you feel worse. This is not always intentional on their part. Often they do not even realize they are doing it, but the effect on you is the same regardless of intent. This week, pay attention to who leaves you feeling full after time together, and who leaves you feeling empty. You do not need to cut anyone off. You just need to start budgeting your time and energy according to what you can actually afford. And that awareness is going to open up a whole new dimension of the boundary work we have been building toward. Tip 10. The 10th and final insight for this week pulls everything together into one clear, actionable truth. The most important boundary you will ever set is the one between who you are and who other people expect you to be. Aquarius, you have spent a significant portion of your life adjusting your tone to match the room, adjusting your opinions to avoid conflict, adjusting your dreams to fit what seemed realistic to the people around you. And each adjustment, each compromise of your authentic self, cost you something. Not something dramatic, something quiet, a tiny piece of your aliveness, a small dimming of the light that makes you uniquely you. And over time, those small dimmings accumulate until you look in the mirror and feel like you are seeing someone you used to know rather than someone you currently are. This week, the universe is inviting you to stop adjusting. Not in a rebellious, combative way. In a peaceful, grounded way. The way a tree stops bending in the wind, not because the wind has stopped blowing, but because its roots have grown deep enough to hold it steady. Your roots are deep enough now, Aquarius. You have lived enough, learned enough, and felt enough to know who you are at your core. The question is no longer whether you know yourself. The question is whether you are willing to let yourself be known. There is a vulnerability and authenticity that keeps many people performing instead of living. When you present a curated version of yourself, you are protected. If someone rejects that version, the rejection does not reach your core because the version they rejected was not really you. But when you show up as your full, unedited self, with your quirks and contradictions and unconventional ways of seeing the world, rejection cuts deeper, because it is the real you being seen and judged. Most people choose the safety of performance over the risk of authenticity, and they pay for that choice with a lifetime of feeling unseen, unknown, and profoundly lonely even in the company of others. This week, the energy supports you in choosing differently. In small moments throughout the days ahead, you will have opportunities to either adjust yourself to match expectations, or to simply be who you are, and let the moment unfold. The meeting where you usually hold back your real thoughts. The conversation where you typically agree even though you feel differently. The social setting where you perform a version of yourself that is more palatable but less true. Each of these is an opportunity, not to create drama, not to be controversial for the sake of it, but to gently, quietly, firmly let the real you take up space. And here is what you will discover when you start doing that. The right people will not be repelled by your authenticity. They will be relieved by it, because your authenticity gives them permission to drop their own performance. Your honesty makes the room safer for everyone else's honesty. Your willingness to be real creates a space where real connection becomes possible, perhaps for the first time. And real connection, the kind where you are seen and known and loved not in spite of who you are but because of who you are, is worth more than 1,000 comfortable performances. The boundary between who you are and who others expect you to be is the master boundary. When you set it, everything else falls into place. Your energy stops leaking because you are no longer spending it on maintaining a false image. Your relationships improve because they are built on truth rather than pretense. Your health improves because your body is no longer holding the tension of constant performance. And your spirit, the deepest, truest part of you, finally gets to breathe. That is what this week is offering you. Not a small adjustment, a fundamental return to yourself. And everything that follows in the weeks ahead will be built on that foundation. So do not underestimate the power of what is being asked of you right now. Aquarius, if you have stayed with me through all 10 of these insights, I want you to know something. You did not stay because you had nothing better to do. You stayed because something inside you recognized the truth in these words. Something inside you has been waiting for permission to set these boundaries, to protect your energy, to stop adjusting yourself to fit spaces that were never shaped for you. And this week, that permission has arrived. Not from me, not from the stars, from you. Because the fact that you are here, listening, absorbing, feeling, that tells me you have already made the decision. You have already chosen yourself. Now it is just about following through. The days ahead are going to be about quiet revolutions. The revolution of saying no when you mean no. The revolution of resting without guilt. The revolution of letting your emotions flow instead of locking them in your head. The revolution of clearing your space, protecting your time, and showing up as the person you actually are instead of the person everyone expects you to be. These are small acts, but they carry enormous power. Because every time you choose yourself, genuinely without apology, you send a signal to the universe that you are ready for more. More peace, more clarity, more of the life that was always meant to be yours. You are not running out of time, Aquarius. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. And the energy of this week is perfectly aligned with the growth you are ready for. Trust yourself. Trust the quiet voice inside you that has been whispering, it is time. Because it is. Carry this energy with you. Let it settle into your bones. Let it remind you that your energy is sacred, and you have every right to protect it. This is your week, and that decision to protect yourself, that is the most powerful boundary of all. You have two options after this video. Close it and hope things shift, or decide that the next 21 days will be different. If you choose the second, the structured 21-day transformation aligned with your sign is waiting in the pinned comment. The energy is already moving, the only question is whether you are.